like we have officially wrapped up Week 18, and we're looking forward to Week 1 of the NFL playoffs.
A new realm, a new level.
Super wild card weekend.
Oh, God, I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's football at its finest. The playoffs.
Love to see it. Teams that have scratched and clawed their way. And
Literally.
Literally. These teams.
Crawled in.
Warriors already just for getting here. Congrats to all those teams.
Yep.
And all those fan bases, man. If your team's in the playoffs, that's just congrats to you. I'm not sure what you did.
I'm thinking the Browns fan base, the Texans fan base, who have like overcome a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, the Packers stuck in there at the end.
Yeah,
you got to feel good.
Yeah, great day to be a football fan.
Absolutely. Welcome to the show. This is Bench with the Tovar Brothers. My name's Joey, joined by my brother Angel. What's up, man?
Hello.
On this episode, we're gonna get into the news, and then we have a little of a playoff team ranking and a playoff quarterback ranking. As we look ahead, we're not going to do matchups just yet. We'll save that for Friday. But we're going to take a look at these teams and these quarterbacks and see how we're looking going into the playoffs.
And I'm sure everyone's going to agree with us. That's just a given.
Yeah, because we pretty much just nailed it all year.
Cool.
Episode number 76. So glad you joined us today. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome to the show.
Hi.
So glad you're here. If it's your first time, welcome. We talk football 3 times a week, no matter what. Yep. And that's going to be going in the offseason, too. And the offseason is going to be a lot of fun. Already looking at draft stuff. Already done a couple mock drafts. Mm-hmm. Those top 10 picks are going to be wild.
Yep.
Whenever there's many quarterbacks involved in the draft, it's madness.
Also, I watched some Joel Alt stuff today. Watched some stuff. They're comparing his...
Why don't you explain who that is to the people?
The left tackle from Notre Dame. Yeah. 6'8", 330.
Just a mountain of a man.
His comp... draft status wise is Penei Sewell.
Wow.
So you add Penei Sewell to this draft, a bunch of quarterbacks.
Not bad.
Phenomenal.
Not to mention Marvin Harrison, Brock Bowers.
Someone's gonna be gifted a left tackle because the quarterbacks are going to be pushed up.
Yep.
Oh my God.
So offseason is going to be great. We'll be here 3 times a week, no matter what. Here on the YouTube page, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be hanging out with you as often as we can. If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts, thanks so much for joining us on the audio version of Bench with the Tovar Brothers. I love how you're bowing to the camera.
Yeah, even though
it's the audio version.
The audio. I am. If you can't hear me, if you can't see me, I am humbly bowing to you.
We salute you,
podcast listeners.
Absolutely. And then, of course, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and X, or Twitter, or whatever it's called now. And no, we never got on the
Threads
train. I did for like a day, and then
we missed it. Whatever.
I think everyone missed it. I think they missed it.
I think they missed it big.
If you remember when that happened,
I do see
Twitter went down for a day, and we literally thought, wow, Threads is going to take over Twitter, and that did not work.
I think it's even stronger. Twitter's even stronger now.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm on Twitter all day.
Yep. Yeah. So follow us on all those platforms. Search @Bench Show, spelled just like this, and we're putting up highlights, reaction, clips from the show. A bunch of fun stuff, maybe some giveaways as we get to the playoffs and the off season, and make sure you're just in it to win it and all those things.
Yeah, a lot of fun stuff, and football is just it's such a great time of year for a football fan that you want to get up to date on stuff. We're gonna update. We update as soon as the Vrabel news broke today. Spoiler, I already knew Joey's already on it because Joey's just. I saw my phone like he's gonna post it in like a second.
Oh yeah. Number one, I just did it out of just sheer anger.
Yeah, anger.
We'll get into that.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just now it's when we grew up. I don't know how a lot of you were, but as we were growing up, when we played Madden, yes, we enjoyed playing the actual games, but there are a lot of teams where I just played GM and then moved on to the next team.
See, I'm not gonna actually play on this one. I just want to be the GM of the 49ers when they had nobody. Yeah,
I love putting together a team.
Yep.
I love putting together a coach, and I love the draft and all that. So anyways, we'll get into that. But on today's show, episode number 76, we're going to get into a lot. Before we do, though, it is episode 76. I want to get into a couple of let's start with famous 76-year-old.
Okay.
Number one is the Terminator himself.
He's 76 years old?
Arnold Schwarzenegger. I feel like I nailed that. I'm usually not confident.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, Arnold is 76, born in 1947.
Oh, my God, he's old.
There's some good ones on here. How about this one?
How
about this one? You can tell everybody. Not Kanye. This is Elton John.
Oh.
This is your song. Your song. Yeah, sorry. I looked at him like, he's not. Yeah.
This is your song. Maybe quite simple, but
It's my song from my daughters.
Yep. Oh, that's cute.
Yep. Elton John, 76. Thank you, Sir Elton John. Stephen King.
He's haunted, dude.
Yeah. He's
every time I see his face, I'm like, this guy has.
Yeah, I'm looking at him right now. Nope.
He's got some demons in his closet. I think literally.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Hey,
Good old Laker himself.
Yeah.
Funny story about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He is a devoted
devotee.
Muslim.
Yeah.
Right? Hardcore Muslim, right?
Mm-hmm.
My dad ran into him one time with a Bible and had him sign a Bible.
Like he was running?
A Christian Bible.
Oh.
Ran into him in a 7-Eleven. All he had was a Christian Bible with him. And so he had Kareem sign a Christian
Good for Kareem
Bible.
for signing the Bible. Then,
Yeah,
you know,
I was always impressed by that. Like,
it
wow.
represents everything that he doesn't believe in.
Brian May, lead guitarist for Queen. Hair.
Shout out. Yeah.
Stallion.
Yep.
Ted Danson. I didn't know who he was, but he's from Cheers.
Oh, yeah. Ted
Female
Danson.
actor.
Yeah.
I don't know the next guy. I'm going to skip him. Sam Neill. We're both fans of his. Sam Neill, Jurassic Park, Peaky Blinders.
Mr. Sober.
Yeah, he had a terrible accent. He had a terrible accent in Peaky Blinders, but he was a good character.
Yeah.
David Letterman.
Okay, cool.
This is quite the list, right? Carlos Santana, one favorite of mine.
Yeah.
And it goes on and on there. Famous 76-year-olds. Oh, Jonathan Banks. Your buddy.
Thanks.
Breaking Bad.
Remind me who that is.
Breaking Bad. When you used to work at a certain golf course,
God.
He attended.
I forgot his name. Yeah. I worked at a golf course, and he was a regular attendee of that golf course, and he was the nicest guy.
Let me see if I can remember his name. I know his last name is Ehrmantraut. Mike Ehrmantraut from Breaking Bad.
Walter.
Good guy. That's famous 76-year-old. And then, you know what? In honor of all those kids going back to school and winter break being over, let's learn some things.
Okay,
let's learn something. On this day in history.
Back to school.
Okay, on this day in history, Columbus, I thought this was pretty funny, actually. On this day in history, Columbus saw manatees for the first time and thought they were mermaids.
This guy was horny. those are women. Women.
He had been in sea for so long.
With a bunch of seamen, with a bunch of men for about five months, sees a floating object. That's a woman.
Not to mention, the shape of a manatee is very...
It's very sexual.
What? It is. They are curvy.
Yeah.
If you're into
they're voluptuous.
If you're into the curves, sometimes you look at a manatee and think...
To each their own. You know, whatever you're into is whatever you're into.
This is going to in 1972, Lakers' record winning streak came to an end this day. So go Lakers.
Go Lakers.
This is kind of cool. 2001, Apple launches iTunes.
Yeah, that was when you had to pay like
the world was never the
$12 for an album. Yeah, that was not good.
I'm trying to think what else is here. That's so funny. Columbus seeing the mermaids. Steve Jobs debuts the iPhone.
Yeah.
It's a big day for Apple, huh?
I mean, now Apple runs the world. We have like 8 Apple devices on the table right now.
Richard Nixon's born.
Oh.
Good job, Mr. Nixon. Sylvester Stallone starts filming Rocky on this day. Attaboy.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and wrap it up there. So I hope you learned something.
Yeah, I did.
We like to be educational on the show as well.
Yeah, we like to teach you things as we learn as well.
Feed your mind.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get into the news. Back to football. I want one of those desktop on this day in history things now, because I genuinely enjoy like on this day in history. I just think that's whoever came up with that is, I don't know.
Yeah, it's fun to think about where we've been and where we are now.
Yeah, I like that. Well put, Inge.
That's just what I do.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. That's what people say about you.
This is known.
People often tell me, you know what? I like the way Angel puts life. Really puts into perspective.
All right.
For me.
I like to take back what I said. I just Googled sea manatees.
What did you say?
I just Googled what a manatee was. I forgot what it looked like. I just assumed.
It's a large animal.
It's a large one.
What did you think it was?
I thought it was more slender, but it's. I'm gonna get in trouble for saying stuff.
Okay, but what animal did you have?
I thought it was just more slender. I thought it was like a regular, like kind of bigger fish.
Oh no, manatee's a big old.
Yeah, it's not pretty.
That's what you said. Sexual.
This guy was desperate.
Okay, listen, man. Some people are into that. Some people.
Bestiality is like illegal,
Oh
I think.
God, I'm talking about the shape.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about the shape.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna move on. I don't trust you in this. I don't trust you in this whole conversation. To the news.
Here we go. Football.
Steelers confirm that Mason Rudolph is gonna get their playoff start in the wild card round, and TJ Watt will not play due to his injury.
Two things
against the Bills.
Two things that are like they're gonna lose. I think they're 1-8, right? Without Watt and Mason Rudolph doesn't really. He's just better than Pickett. That's his only redeeming quality.
Yeah. So Mason Rudolph starting quarterback for the wild card Steelers.
Good luck, guys.
Good luck. Dan Campbell said Sam Laporta has an outside shot to play against the Rams. He says we're talking days, not weeks here.
Let's give a round of applause.
I hope he plays. Still bummed out because if he does play, there's no way
he's healthy. No,
there's no way he's 60%.
No,
like he's not going to be Sam Laporta.
He's got 8 shots right in the knee bone.
Yeah, and I'm happy. I'm happy he might be there. Still bummed out that he's.
I am very happy though that it's not what we thought it was.
Absolutely.
Like, what a relief. I thought it was the ACL. I was like, God, this rookie waited a whole year. Thank God he's back. So, not long term.
The Dolphins are just decimated up front and throughout their defense. Jerome Baker going on IR, Cameron Good, Andrew Van Ginkel. First of all, Andrew Van Ginkel sounds like someone who owns a racer company and has a curly mustache.
It sounds like a wrestler.
Or that. Maybe he does that on the weekends.
Andrew Van Ginkel.
Yep. But anyways, he goes. He's been important for them last couple of years. He goes on IR as well. To try to shore up the defense, they signed veterans Justin Houston and Bruce Irving.
Yeah.
Best you can do. Nothing, I guess.
Best you can do. It's been crazy how, like, each week, since, like, week 14, they've lost the player.
Right.
It just sucks, and it's the worst time to lose players. But Browns fans and Browns do not feel bad for them because they've lost everybody and they're still winning. So it's just what it is.
The next thing is very interesting. I want you to tell me if the NFL is ready for this. The Saints are considering making an addition to their coaching staff. One, John Gruden.
Oh, boy.
In a move that would reunite him with Derek Carr. Gruden recently met with Saints officials, and there is mutual interest. Gruden is actually still currently suing the NFL. Is the NFL ready for this? Are we ready for this?
Yeah, just don't give them access to email. You are analog phone only.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's like was an extreme racist on the emails. He did racist stuff that was like there's no even like way of like explaining how it's not racist because it's racist.
Yeah, I wonder if that is something that you can come back from. Like, can you go to a locker room, own it, and
say, hey,
is there a moving forward with specifically young black players?
Maybe if he goes up to the team and is like, hey guys, I made a mistake, Yeah,
messed up. Spoken away. I shouldn't have. I didn't want it to be shared.
I lost millions. I lost a lot. I want to come back humbly as a quarterback, coach or whatever.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
For Derek Carr.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I'm all for a second chance.
Yeah.
And the NFL has given second chances to a lot of terrible players.
Yeah.
A lot of terrible things. Like Robert Kraft, we didn't hear about that ever again. Deshaun Watson's playing football. I mean, Ray Rice was back in the
day. Dante Stallworth, wide receiver, literally killed a person. And they came back to play.
The Michael Vick story. There's been plenty of redemption stories. Is this one of those? I guess we'll see. It's an interesting experiment for the NFL.
In like a broader, what's going to be brought up, I could see it, is like, give Gruden a chance, give Kaepernick a chance. That's what's going to be brought up. I can already see the headlines.
I mean, sure. It's not the same. But.
No, I think, yeah. I mean, give him as long as he, publicly says and then privately says to his team and he means it. He's not just saying it just to get back in the NFL. Yeah.
Okay, moving on here. Broncos head coach Sean Payton on Russell Wilson's future with the team. Quote, it hasn't been decided relative to what our plans are.
AKA, we can't cut him. It costs too much money, so he's going to be our backup quarterback.
So that's where you are. You think it's a money thing. He's most likely going to be my chair's sinking and driving me nuts.
There we go.
Sorry. So you think he's going to be back because of the money, and that's the issue?
I think he'll be the most expensive backup quarterback next year for sure, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, in Sean Payton's mind, they're contending next year.
Yeah,
and this year taught us you better have a good backup. So I think at the very worst, he's a nice trade chip next year.
I would like to see who starts at before him. I swear to God, if it's Jared Stidham, it's gonna be
No, they'll get a quarterback. It'll be Justin Fields. But the thing is though, football wise, if you want to like that's how you're viewing it, like football and money wise, yeah, it makes sense. But locker room wise,
yeah, it's weird.
are you gonna have Russell Wilson as a backup there after what just went down, after what the players saw go down, after them asking him to take less money,
It is awkward.
threatening to sit him?
It's awkward because you're like, this guy was a starter. Coach fucking hates him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what do we like? Hey, Russ.
Yeah, I don't think you can bring him back. I think locker room wise, you cannot bring him back. I think they're gonna cut him, and maybe they're trying to save some kind of trade value. I don't know. It's weird.
It's weird. It's awkward, and it didn't have to be this way. Sean, you could just played him the rest of the year and just said next year we don't know who the starter is. Whoever isn't,
Could have been so simple.
just smooth it
Also,
out.
could have been a nice bridge quarterback for you.
Yeah, you could have drafted a guy that we're gonna wait behind Russell Wilson.
We'll see. Okay, so now the story that really is what we've been wanting to get to. The story of the day is Titans fire Mike Vrabel per Adam Schefter. He had a meeting with the owner, I believe a one-on-one meeting with the owner,
Oh yeah.
and she informed him that they were going in a different direction. Less than 2 years ago, Mike Vrabel was the NFL's Coach of the Year, and now jobless. Thoughts?
Okay, 6 seasons, 4 playoff appearances, an AFC title appearance, and Coach of the Year. One of the better coaches in the NFL. You saw a bunch of players who were shocked by it. I think on the Rich Eisen show, they had, while it broke, they had Taylor Lewan on it, and his reaction was what we all thought, like, they just fired a good head coach.
Yeah.
For what reason? That's beyond me. I don't know why they fired him. He's a fantastic coach. I don't care if your GM hates him. He's still a good coach.
Yep.
This is so stupid.
It's just the way I put it on social media was it's when you fire a coach and he's immediately the top candidate across the league.
You're like, oh, crap.
You did something wrong. Because who are you going to pivot to? You going to go get Harbaugh? You know what I'm saying?
It's got to be that guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like, what's above?
Like who else? Yeah, who else is there? And then, I mean, is that what kind of message does that send to the next coach? Vrabel's been very successful with not a lot.
Yeah, I mean, last 2 years, 13 and 21.
Right.
But I think as Tannehill and that team aged, that kind of felt like they needed to turn it over. But
from what I read, there's a real struggle in rebuild versus no, I'm here to compete. Vrabel being I'm here to compete. And you can kind of see it with the roster.
yeah, it's like, what the fuck?
Like, are you rebuilding with Treylon Burks or are you signing DeAndre Hopkins? Like, what?
Why did we sign this guy?
What is this roster?
I thought we were trying to make Treylon Burks the guy, but we just signed this guy who demands the ball and is the biggest diva in the league as a wideout.
Why was Derrick Henry not traded at the deadline? That could have been.
Why did we just trade Byard though?
Exactly.
Like what are we?
Byard,
are we in or are we out?
And you can see the conflict that was there.
Yeah.
With Vrabel. But let's look at it for Vrabel. Titans screwed up. I think we're both there.
Yeah.
If you go pivot and get a better coach, and great, it's not the likely scenario.
They'll probably go to like a young, offensive-minded head coach and just hope that he's the next guy. Pair him with Levis or whoever they draft, or I don't know what
I don't know where they are cap wise, but I'm not sure if Levis is the guy.
No one's sure.
Their roster's not that good.
Luckily enough for this team, whoever comes in, whoever goes in is like, hopefully they're like, you don't have to stick with Levis. He's here.
Right.
But we also have a good draft pick, so you can draft a quarterback,
right.
And we have room to,
Yeah, they've missed down a couple of quarterbacks with
Malik Willis
and then Will Levis. I won't call him a miss yet.
We just don't know. He's so up and down.
Right.
Yeah.
Vrabel, according to @Marino NFL, I can't remember the first name on that. I know it's not Dan Marino reporting this.
It's just Dan. It's Dan Marino's burner phone.
Vrabel, top candidate for the Patriots job if Bill Belichick should leave. That's the obvious choice.
Yawn.
To me. He's from there. He knows the culture. He understands the city. Obviously, he was just in Robert Kraft's box for the game the other day. I forgot what game it was.
Yeah, he was.
But he was just in the box with him. Obviously, a great relationship there. Who knows if they already had conversations? I think that's the obvious. That's the likely.
I saw reports that Belichick is just going about his day like regular.
That's the thing. We don't know if Belichick's even leaving.
He's just like, okay, offseason.
Yeah, because there's been the rumors that they're just going to bring in a GM and he's going to give GM duties, which I think works.
That's probably good.
Rumors that Josh McDaniels going to be back. That's always worked.
Oh my God.
Mac Jones' best year was with Josh McDaniels. Sorry, what did I say? Daniel Jones. Yeah. I meant Josh McDaniels.
Yeah.
So yeah, who knows what's going on there.
So is that where you want him to go? The Patriots?
Yeah, that's where I'd like him to go.
That's your number one option for him.
Yeah, I think it'd be great there.
Oh.
With that defense, that defense is very talented. They'll get Christian Gonzalez back next year. I think that's a great spot for him. Legacy-wise, fantastic. He won 3 Super Bowls with them.
I know, but I thought the point of getting rid of Belichick is to start a new era. If you bring in a Belichick disciple, it's the same
He
era.
never coached with Belichick. He will not be viewed as a Belichick disciple. He went.
Kind of. That's why he's back in New England, because he's a Belichick.
He's back in New England because he was a successful coach in Tennessee.
I would like him.
Not that we're saying that he's back. If he is back. Then.
If he is back.
He's back because he was wildly successful in Tennessee.
I would like
successful.
Yeah, I would like him with the Chargers. That's my first choice.
He just doesn't strike me as a West Coast guy.
Yeah,
I can't see him in LA.
It sucks. If it was in anywhere in the Midwest or something, maybe.
Yeah,
but quarterback.
There's also rumors that possibly Ohio State might be an option. Now Taylor Lewan said, and he knows him personally, he's not going to college.
No,
he's not going to college. But
he would tear those kids' heads off.
Either way, man, a lot of teams would love Mike Vrabel as their head coach. Absolutely, 100%.
So yeah, okay. I think the Chargers are perfect for him, but West Coast
the Patriots are perfect for him.
Yeah, I saw a lot of Panther stuff. Don't do that.
He's not going to Panthers.
That's too much to deal with.
He's not going to Panthers.
That's for
He's going to deal with David Tepper.
No,
absolutely.
Tepper's more. He's threw a drink at a guy.
Not a chance.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with Mike Vrabel. A very interesting addition to this coach carousel.
Mm-hmm.
He won't be on the market long.
No, he's the first one hired.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the news. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll get back into some playoff power rankings. Be right back. I actually am going to bring the power rankings this week. First time of the year. Yep. Yeah. Joey playoff rankings version 1.0. I won't do this again, so here we are.
Here we go.
Okay, so let's start at the bottom.
And now we're here.
Yep. Do you want my list so you can look it in front of you?
Yes.
Okay, so at the bottom I have, so I separated them into categories, okay? So I have, at the bottom, happy to be here. Right above that is it's a stretch. Right above that is dark horse. Right above that is serious contenders. And above that is favorites. Okay. So at the bottom in my just happy to be here, I do have the Bucks. I know that's your boys, and I know you believe in them. And honestly, they might win a playoff game because the Eagles are playing like crap. But
to be fair, on your side, they did win 9-0 against the Panthers.
Yes,
just happy to be here.
Yep. They're just happy to be there. It's still Baker Mayfield. Mike Evans is the real deal.
Yeah.
Chris Godwin is the real deal.
Defense is still solid.
Defense is solid, but they're the Bucks. They won the worst division in football. Happy to be here.
Okay.
Happy to see them here. They get a home playoff game. It's a nice story. They might be the Eagles.
Yeah.
That's a closer game than it should be.
If they don't, just happy to be here.
Exactly. It's a win for the Bucks because you did not expect to be here.
No, you could now say we made the playoffs 4 times or 3 times in a row.
They actually weren't my last place team. My last place was the Steelers. When you have Mason Rudolph and you don't have T.J. Watt and just the different things going on there in that organization, you're just happy to be here.
Happy that the Matt Canada thing blew over and everyone forgot about it.
Yeah. Also, this season taught me something very important. And if you're out there and you're kind of a fringe NFL news follower, whenever you hear this thing about Tomlin anymore being, oh, well, he hasn't had a losing season in 14 whatever years, I am way less impressed by that than I used to be because these are the kind of seasons he's been putting out. Just, okay, yeah, he's above 500, but they're still not a very good
What's
team.
crazy? As the list gets longer, people just have less respect for it. Which is not how it's I have more respect than you probably for this thing, but I want to see how many championships has he had in these seasons, or is it just playoff appearances?
Been a minute.
Yeah, I mean,
Been a minute.
Yeah, I think they're happy to be here. Yeah, they're happy to be here.
Okay, so let's get out of this section here because it's much more fun to move forward here. Okay, my next section here is called It's a Stretch. It contains my 10th, 11th, and 12th ranked team. I'll tell you the teams and we'll go through them, okay? Mm-hmm. At 10, I have the Packers. 11, I have the Dolphins. And at 12, I have the Rams. So you're a big believer in the Rams.
Yes, big believer in the Rams.
Okay.
Yes.
Here's my thing about them. They're young.
Okay.
They've had stretches this year where they haven't looked that good, and I realize that's because of injury. But they're overachieving. And so for them to get in the playoffs, cool. For them to win a Super Bowl, that's a stretch.
So what's the difference? Well, okay, go ahead. I like him more than you do. I think they're peaking at the right time.
Yeah.
With a team, quarterback, and head coach who's done it before.
So you put him as a dark horse to win the Super Bowl.
Dark horse win a Super Bowl. Yes.
Really?
Yes. I love this team right now.
Yeah.
And they're only two teams who I believe can beat the 49ers because they've played them.
Yeah.
And they have that. I'm just telling you.
I don't know if their defense can hold up. I don't know. There's a lot of guys who are going to be in positions, like major positions for them that have never been there before because they're a very young team. Besides Cooper Kupp, Stafford, and Donald. Yeah. Besides that, they're the second youngest team in the league. And I think this is not the same Rams team. Like, you may have Stafford and you may have Cooper Kupp, but don't be fooled into thinking like, oh yeah, they did it a couple years ago. Why not? Why can't they, rally and do it again here? Like, this is a different team.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. I like the Dolphins here, by the way. I love this.
Dolphins, I think it's a stretch, and this is crazy because they were just fighting for the number 2 seed. But from what we've seen, one thing is consistent about this team: they are beat by good teams.
They will score 19 points against a good team.
Yeah. So to say that they're gonna run the table and win a Super Bowl, that would be a stretch.
They just lost to the Ravens and Bills, both of which are 1 and 2 seed in the AFC, who you're gonna have to face one of them.
Yeah.
And you've not proven to be better than either of them.
The defense has been better, but they're crazy injured.
Yeah.
Like missing, I think they're like on their I think they're missing like literally their first and second string of pass rushers.
Yeah.
Like
they just got Jerome Baker back, but still like
he's on IR.
No, he just came back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he played last week.
The middle linebacker?
Yeah, he played last week. He made a huge play.
I think they put him back on.
They did.
I'm gonna look at it. Go ahead.
Okay. No, but
because he's very important.
Yeah, the last. I mean, in our last show, I talked about the Dolphins, and I don't. It's a stretch, is beautifully said, because it's a stretch for us to think that this team, who's so inconsistent, can actually beat all the good teams who've been consistent, who've proven to beat other good teams. It's a stretch for the Dolphins to win the Super Bowl. I'm totally on board with that. It's a stretch.
Jerome Baker out for the season with Van Ginkel.
Oh my God!
They're super beat up.
It's just not their year. They haven't found the right pieces yet, I don't think.
It's a stretch. The reason they're not happy to be here because they scored 29 points a game. They have a puncher's chance.
Yeah.
They have Tyreek Hill, the best receiver in football. They have Jalen Waddle, very good. They have Devin Achane is averaging like 7 yards a carry. Achane, 7 yards a carry. Like he's electric. So they have a puncher's chance. That's why they're not happy to be here, but it's a stretch for them to win anything.
A stretch.
Packers. Okay.
I like Packers.
I think this is a good spot for them. Number 10 in the playoffs. It's a stretch leading that group. They are the youngest team. We heard that about 45 times on Sunday night.
Uh-huh.
I think they have inconsistent weapons. You never know who it's going to be. A.J. Dillon.
I think that's part of their team.
When he shows up.
They're just going to put the hot hand.
Aaron Jones, hurt often. Christian Watson, I don't know what he is. I think he's out anyway. Dobbs shows up every now and then. Jalen Reed's been... Jaden?
Yeah.
He's been really good.
Yeah. I think I like this team more than you do.
Yeah.
I think this team is nice.
I think they're really good, but I also think they're
playing with nothing to lose, so there's no pressure on them.
Exactly. Yeah, this young thing could be bad or it could be very, very good.
Good as in like they don't even know whether they're out there playing football.
Exactly. They don't know what these stakes are. They don't know that it's going to be very hard to get back. Tell
you what. Packer fans be very encouraged that post Rodgers you're still making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. My thing was Jordan Love's getting a lot of praise. I was going to say love, but he's getting a lot of praise, and he should be. He had a great year. He had a fantastic year. He had comparable years to the first years of Favre and Rodgers.
Yeah.
Don't want to knock the guy. But I think people are putting him like in the category of like a C.J. Stroud, as in young prospect quarterbacks, and I don't think he's there. I think he's much closer to I'm trying to think of the young quarterback.
I like him more than you do.
Do you think he's as good as Stroud? Who are you taking?
I think Stroud. I think it's like an A+ to an A-.
What?
Love's good.
They scored 17 points Sunday night. People act like it's just different when you watch them. To me,
he had the same stats as Stroud.
Right, exactly, but they're not getting the same way. You look at Jordan Love. They had 17 points, trading punts with Fields throughout the game, and you have C.J. Stroud bombing at 75 yards to Nico Collins on the way down. You have C.J. Stroud making whatever receiver is there work.
In the last 8 games of the season, Love went 18 touchdowns to 1 pick.
Great, he's playing really well.
He's
not C.J. Stroud.
No, I'm not saying Stroud, but I'm saying he's in that same tier.
I mean, I don't know how to I don't know what makes it. I don't know the bounds of that tier, so I don't know how.
A good tier. You said young prospect. That they're both not prospect anymore, and they're both good quarterbacks. They're both good quarterbacks.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm interested to see where he is on your quarterback rankings because if he's just not what people think he is to me. But we'll see. Like even Packer fans, like you're lying if you are saying that. Yeah, I've always been on Love. No, people have wanted him out of town. People have already thought about replacing him this year, and now all of a sudden, like, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. He's been up and down, and he's good, and he finished off strong.
Hope you enjoyed it here. Of us on the Love on the Love wagon. I just coined that one.
Yeah.
We'll continue to ride the Jordan Love is good.
Will you continue to hop on and off, or
No.
You're staying on now?
Because he was young and he proved that he could stay consistent. Within the last 8 games, in the 2 must-win games, he went 5 touchdowns,
so
no
we're
picks.
on, then we're off, then we're back on?
That's a young quarterback.
Okay, I'm just saying.
What do you?
I feel like Stroud. We were on.
Not everyone's C.J. Stroud.
That's what I'm saying. He's not C.J. Stroud. He's not this elite tier of young quarterback. That's all I'm saying.
So what is he to you? Just a quarterback?
Good young quarterback. Scored 17 in the finale to clinch the playoffs. Like, I'm saying like he's. I don't know.
You act like he had like.
We're not going anywhere here. We have different opinions.
Like he had 3 picks in that game.
Agree, disagree. Huh?
You act like he had like 3 picks and he cost them. Whatever.
Didn't say that. Number 9, I have the Browns. This is the dark horse section. Now this section are teams that could win it. Some things have to go right, but it wouldn't be crazy. And to me, the most impressive team in this thing is the Texans at number 6, and that is because C.J. Stroud.
I'll tell you what, it's sad. You listed them right that the Eagles are number 8 on this list.
So I have 6 Texans, 7 Chiefs, 8 Eagles, and 9 Browns.
Chiefs and Eagles should not be this low, but it's not because of us, because of them.
Yeah, I mean, Hurts and A.J. Brown got hurt last game.
Yep. Eagles are banged up.
No matter what happens here, the Eagles are going to fire both the coordinators in a couple weeks.
They should have fired.
That should tell you about the state of the coaching of the Eagles right now. And then I put in my notes, the vibes just aren't there. The vibes aren't right.
Feels like they don't like each other. Like they're playing football because like we're just getting paid to do this.
You know what it feels like? It feels like they try to run it back and just kind of like recapture the magic, and you can't force that.
Sometimes you can't. Sometimes one season where you're hot, you cannot duplicate.
They brought back Slay. They brought back Bradbury. Kelsey didn't retire. They kind of just try to run it back, and it would have been a great story, but chemistry is not something you put on paper.
Or you can recreate.
You either have it or you don't.
Yeah.
And so the Eagles, I mean, they still have Jalen Hurts is still, I think, an elite young quarterback in the league, and who knows? And they're in the Super Bowl last year. So, dark horse, yeah. Chiefs, same thing. I actually think Chiefs are in a better position than the Eagles, just because that defense is good, sometimes great.
It's just their wideouts. I just don't trust them at all. 0% trust.
Mahomes, Kelsey, and Reed, you always have a chance at those guys.
Yeah.
I don't care how Kelsey has played.
So 3
Mahomes,
Hall of Famers.
Yeah, those guys can. No one's gonna be excited to play them. Who are they playing? The Dolphins.
Dolphins. They're gonna beat.
They're gonna beat the Dolphins.
Yeah,
it's like it's gonna be -5 there,
and they're still gonna win.
I put the curse of Taylor Swift just to piss off any Swifties that might hear this. Number 6, I have the Texans. This is what I want to talk about here. The Texans are a dark horse to win the Super Bowl, and I believe that. I am not saying something crazy for the clip that this will be later. I honestly believe C.J. Stroud, now that he's gotten to the party, watch out.
It's crazy how far they've come in one season from being the worst team in football being like, you better watch out if you play them and you're not on your A game because they're much like these young teams. They don't care who they play. We're just going to give it our all, and we have this quarterback who is the best rookie quarterback I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. They were legitimately the worst team in football. They stole a game at the end of the year, so that they didn't want the number 1 pick. They're number 2 pick.
Yeah, they're the legit worst team.
Yeah, but they're just a terrible team.
Yep.
You had the Davis Mills thing going on.
He wasn't terrible. He just was put. He wasn't the guy.
So I'm saying it's a terrible team.
Yeah.
And to think that now they're dark horses to win the Super Bowl, like I don't think enough can be said about D'Amico Ryans and the coaching that they have. Just the fact that they're a middle of the road defense. They might have the offensive and defensive rookie of the years. Yeah. Like it's just what this team has done in a year. It's just you can't say enough about it, man. And then C.J. Stroud, you have a great quarterback in this league. You can win.
Yep, and he is a great quarterback.
Okay, getting down to the serious contenders. Okay, these are the teams that think they definitely could knock off the top two favorites here, and I'm gonna start at number 5, and that's the Cowboys. Now the Cowboys have been they've been up and down a little bit, but I think for the most part, I believe they're an elite team.
Yeah,
I believe they have elite pieces. I believe they can beat anyone, anywhere type team. We did see them get destroyed by the Niners, but I think
the Niners destroyed a lot of people.
Exactly, yeah, and then they got destroyed. So, who knows? For the Cowboys here, Dak's playing the best football of his career.
Yeah, good for Dak, man.
Like he's balling out. CeeDee Lamb, we talk a lot about Tyreek Hill. CeeDee Lamb is right there with him.
Yeah, it's crazy for a Cowboy. You don't really hear his name amongst the most. He's a fantastic wide.
135 catches, 1,750 yards.
He's a dog, dude.
Those are insane.
And this was
numbers.
a year after people were like, "Well, he's not the great." We're kind of doubting whether he's elite wideout or whatever. He's proven to wear that 88, which is a big deal in Cowboys.
Yep.
He's proven to be one of the elite 88s.
Yeah, and last year, people said he couldn't really succeed because he's the only guy there. He's still the only guy there. Brandon Cooks has not been what he's been
up.
Was.
Yeah, he's been up and down. Yeah,
Michael Gallup has never come back really.
Pollard is not the same.
Pollard's not the same.
Yeah,
they took a step back at tight end in my book.
It's really reminiscent. It reminds me of when the Cup and the Stafford thing was on this elite level. It's just two guys who just know each other,
and you can't stop it.
Yeah, because they're both really good.
Yeah. Also, we need to give our flowers to Mike McCarthy because I thought their offense was really going to take a hit with him calling plays and not Kellen Moore, and that's not the case at all. They've been fantastic.
It's been better without Kellen Moore.
Attaboy, Big Mike.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to my number 4 team here. I have the Detroit Lions, the 5th-ranked scoring offense in the NFL. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a legit number 1, 1,500 yards, 10 touchdowns. Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs combined for almost 2,000 yards themselves. And now the most important part to me is their defense is healthy, and they got some playmakers back.
Yep.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson back in time for the playoffs. Brian Branch fully healthy now, fully integrated again. I think with those playmakers and that offense, serious contender.
Yeah, the defense is my main concern with this team. It's been all year. They showed that they could slow down the Cowboys, which they did. And
right.
They lost, but they kind of won in that in that game. That's the only concern here. But if they just play even decent on defense, I think the offense can just do enough. I think this is a real they play up to the competition, but now everyone's good, so they might play good.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they're that team. They're that guy. But you show up to the 7-on-7 tournament with all the high schools, and it's like, oh, he can play with anyone, any school here.
Yeah.
That's the Lions.
Yep.
Number 3 is my favorite team. Should I say it? My Super Bowl pick.
That's crazy.
The Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
Sad thing is, if they lost the first game, I also wouldn't be surprised.
It's the Bills.
It's the Bills. Josh Allen's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But no, the Bills, listen, Josh Allen's going to get MVP votes, and he deserves them. He leads the league in touchdowns, total touchdowns. He is everything for this team. And since Joe Brady took over, he's a zen.
Well, he had a bad game last week.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Pretty bad game last week.
Yeah.
But
as far as the span of Joe Brady.
Yeah, I think what they've done is they've tried to reel him as much. You can only reel in this guy as much as you can, but he's been the best coordinator to do so.
Yeah,
you don't have to. It's not have to be a deep bomb all the time. Yeah, I think Josh Allen is. I think they're gonna take whatever they can because if he's not playing he's such a big part of this offense, they'll take the turnovers. It means that he's comfortable being Josh Allen.
Like last week, he had the 2 bad turnovers, I think, in the red zone.
Yeah, early too.
Early, but then he's also hitting James Cook in the corner in the hands. He's doing everything.
Yeah.
Literally, it's almost weird. It's almost impossible to ask this guy not to make a mistake.
Yeah,
because every inch of that offense goes through him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So much responsibility. Across the 4 games, Brady has been the offensive coordinator. Joe Brady's been the offensive coordinator. Buffalo averaging 29.3 points per game, scoring at least 31 points in 3 of those games. That's fantastic. And you know what's kind of cool? The Bills are starting to build up a little bit of a pedigree here. They're the class of the AFC East. They're regular here.
Well, 4 times in a row now, right?
4 times in a row, they won the title, entered the playoffs as number 2 seed in the AFC. They didn't think they'd be there.
Number 2 seed.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is in a year where we're not going to get a Burrow. Aaron Rodgers went down. There's a lot of new faces here. We're talking about the Lions. We're talking about the Texans.
Yeah.
We're talking about the young Packer team. And the Chiefs are down. In a year where a lot of the regulars aren't here, here are the Bills again.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, my top 2 here are everyone's top 2.
Yeah. Yeah. This is
Number 2 is the 49ers. Now, this is assuming that McCaffrey is healthy. If McCaffrey's not healthy, they're down to serious contenders to me, and they're probably below the Bills.
yeah.
The only reason I put above the Bills, because I love the Bills, is because 49ers are going to be at home.
Yeah.
And the road to the Super Bowl to the NFC is going to go through Santa Clara, and that is just such an advantage for the Niners.
Yeah. I think them at home is tough, and I think also this bye week, letting CMC rest one more week is awesome for them. I know Shanahan said today that he expects him to be back next week. I wouldn't practice him at all.
Nope.
I'd be like, I trust you to be in shape by game time. If not, we'll give you an IV on the sideline.
And it's a calf. Calves are so...
I'm resting that thing. You are not running. You are not jogging, Christian.
That's so unfortunate to happen that late, but it is what it is. Thank God they have the bye. Purdy leads all passers in these categories for the year. Adjusted yards per attempt. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Because people want to label him as he just dumps it off. Well, 10 yards a throw leads the league.
Yep.
Adjusted net yards per attempt, so kind of the same thing there. QBR and expected points added per dropback. So a couple of more analytical stats there just to tell you that he's more than a Jimmy Garoppolo, but he's less than a Dak Prescott.
Thank you for saying that last part.
Yeah.
He's more than Jimmy G. Let's not act like he's the best quarterback in the league.
Right.
He's just a very good quarterback.
There's a reason I led this with McCaffrey better be healthy.
Yes, because McCaffrey is the most important player on this team.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And then even after them, if he's without a Kittle or a Debo Samuel or a Brandon Ayuk, like this offense takes a significant step back. He needs all these weapons.
Yeah, he does. And more importantly, if CMC's out, I don't trust this offense to be the same.
Yeah. The defense obviously is very good. Everyone knows that. And I put here, they have a Super Bowl pass rush.
Yep.
Because when you get into these playoff games, I watched the Eagles ride a pass rush to the Super Bowl. I've watched many teams ride a pass rush to the Super Bowl. And these Chase Young, Nick Bosa, Hargrave, Armstead, guys in the middle, Javon Kinlaw.
They have Joseph Day. They have Kinlaw.
Yeah, they've got Sebastian Day.
They have Gregory. They have Drake Jackson. They have Clint Farrell. They have
they're just gonna come at you at waves.
They're like 8 deep with superstars on the top though. It's not just 8 regular guys. They're superstars and then good elite backups.
The Ravens are next. We're gonna talk about them in a second. But how fun would a Bills Niners Super Bowl be? To watch those pass rushers chase around Josh Allen.
Fun.
That'd be wild.
I mean, obviously, the Ravens, like your number one, that'd be the ideal situation.
Yeah. Okay, let's get to the Ravens here. The Ravens, number one, they're the Ravens. Okay.
Yeah.
They have the MVP of the league on their team, Lamar Jackson, unanimous MVP.
With doing it with weapons that Mark Andrews was gone half the season. You have rookie wideout, Old Man Odell.
He's getting there now with Zay Flowers. Zay
Bateman,
Flowers is stepping up.
Isaiah Likely, and running backs who are just interchangeable.
Yeah. Now add Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook, I think he might start for them. We'll see.
I mean, I like Gus Edwards. I think more than you do.
Gus Edwards I know he has double-digit touchdowns.
Yeah,
this year.
he's good.
He's been very good.
Yeah,
I like Gus.
Yeah,
Edwards.
I think why that works so well because they each know their role.
It's such a bummer that Keaton Mitchell got hurt.
Yeah, I would love to see him. He was the explosive guy out the backfield. He was the put a ball in space. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but him and J.K. Dobbins were just what ifs. You know?
Yeah, this offense is it's really interesting to look at because past Lamar Jackson, we've never seen Isaiah Likely do it like Mark Andrews.
That's why you pick Lamar over Brock Purdy. Because without the best players, Lamar is still the same.
If you think Brock Purdy is making Isaiah Likely, Zay Flowers, and Odell Beckham work, you're on crack.
Yeah.
Only Lamar Jackson's making that work.
Yep.
And then the defense. Mike McDonald in what will be probably his last year with the Ravens
he's
here.
Getting a head coach.
He'll be a head coach. The defense is rested, and they're healthy. You look at teams who win the Super Bowl, in large part, the healthiest teams make it.
Last time I checked, and this might be altered because they didn't play their starters last week, they were top 5 in 6 of the 12 major defensive categories.
They're so good on every single level.
They're very good.
Every single level.
Yeah, and they're healthy. They're healthy. They have a bye week, which is huge because everyone's kind of hurt right now. So they're as healthy as they can be.
Yeah, just the team that's been the best all year, rested now. So they're going to be completely healthy.
Yep.
They have the MVP. They're the clear favorite. And they should be playing here in Las Vegas in a couple weeks, but we'll see. It'd be disappointing if they didn't.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the top 10 list.
Can you just go through it and remind us all again?
Okay, in my favorites category, and I'll put this on the screen, I have the Ravens and the Niners. In my serious contenders category, at 3, I have the Bills. 4, I have the Lions. 5, I have the Cowboys. In my dark horse category, number 6, I have the Houston Texans. Above the defending Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs. Number 8, Eagles. Number 9, the Cleveland Browns. We barely talk about the Cleveland Browns, by the way.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco, can he keep it up? We'll see. And then in the It's a Stretch, I have Angels, Packers, and the Dolphins and the Rams. Packers, I hope you make me eat my words because I love it when a classic franchise is good.
As much as I stand up for the Packers, I'll double down with the Rams. I'm calling them to go into the NFC title game.
They could definitely beat the Lions. That's the thing because it's going to be such an emotional game for Stafford.
I'm telling you, watch out for the Rams.
Absolutely. Okay, in the happy to be here section, I have the Bucks and the Steelers.
Just happened to be in the room. Hey, I don't even need anything to eat.
Glad you're here, fellas.
I'm just glad.
Yep. In the luncheon for this playoff quarterbacks, Mason Rudolph's going to walk in like, hey.
They're standing with their plate. They're not sitting. They're standing with their plate.
Happy to be here.
Hey,
Mason Rudolph.
I'm good, thank you.
Myles Garrett.
Miles. He can't hear me. Miles is not looking at him.
Okay, those are my rankings for the Super Bowl teams. Let's take a break.
Okay.
Let's take a quick break, and then we'll get into your top 5 quarterbacks for the playoffs. Be right back. Okay, before we go here, we want to do the top 5 quarterbacks going into the playoffs. Now, explain what this list is.
This is not top 5 quarterbacks in a broad scope. If you were to start a franchise, this is not that.
Is this the legacy list?
No, this is not Hall of Famers. This is not, before you get mad at me for, this is not like the all-time the top 5.
What the hell, was that me?
No, that was just the haters out there. I'll say that. These are top 5 quarterbacks going into the postseason. I mean, that means they're playing the best going into the postseason. Right now, week 18 / week 1 of the playoffs.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I'll start with what 5 or 1?
5.
Okay. Joey's boy, Jordan Love.
Jalen. What?
Jordan Love at number 5. Playing hot at the right time. This is why I love the Rams. This is why I like the Packers. They're playing hot at the right time. He's playing hot at the right time. Jordan Love. Number 5, Dak Prescott. Dak's playing well.
Yeah.
He had a phenomenal game last week against Washington.
Number 5? Number
4. 4. He played well against the Lions. Okay, he had a pick, but if it wasn't for that miraculous fourth quarter 2-minute drive, he would have beat the Lions there. So that counts for something.
Yeah.
Number 3, C.J. Stroud. Is there a quarterback who means more to the team besides Lamar Jackson than him? No. Stroud is the entire team. I love Stroud. Right now. He's playing hot too. Just came off a freaking primetime game where he proved that should be number 1 overall pick, and he's a very elite quarterback. Number 2, Josh Allen. We just love him on the show. We are pro Josh Allen on the show.
Man. Yeah.
I know that we said this earlier, the picks were bad, but you got to let Josh be Josh.
Yep.
And this is just how he's good.
Yep.
And number 1, Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
MVP, front runner. If you don't think he's the best quarterback right now, then you're just wrong.
Okay, now I'm not going to tear apart your list. It's your list. It's fine. I think it's insane that Patrick Mahomes is not on this list. And I get
he's not playing well.
Is okay, so that's a distinction we have to make. This is how well they're playing right now.
Yeah.
Because when I saw, all right, we're going to do the top 5 quarterbacks in the playoffs, I thought, okay, right now, how they're playing and how we would rank the quarterbacks in the playoffs, how they're playing, and just who they are.
Yeah.
That's how I would do it. And I just think leaving Patrick Mahomes off a top 5 quarterback list in the playoffs is just crazy. But those are 5 good quarterbacks who are playing very well. Jordan Love is above Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts.
Are they playing well? This is just, there's a reason why there's a reason why on your list they weren't in the series.
Your boy Stafford contender.
Yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely. Then Stroud, it's hard to not get him on this list.
Where's Joe Flacco on the list? He seems like he meets your criteria. He's playing well.
He's not playing well.
No?
He's playing better than what they had. He's playing good, though. He's playing good. I'm not going to hate him. I'm not going to hate on him.
Wow. Okay. Anti-Flacco over here.
Not the Flacco. I wish the Browns something, but...
No Jared Goff. He's not playing that great.
We haven't been too impressed by Goff this year, like collectively. We haven't.
Okay, I mean those are what's fun about that list is that we're seeing a little bit of a new wave here. And next year when Deshaun Watson, Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, these mainstays are back.
Yep.
And this new crop is here.
And the new draft picks as part of the new crop. Yeah.
Yep.
Just mix it all in a pot, see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see where Kyler Murray is. We'll see where Justin Fields is. We'll see where Kirk Cousins is. I mean, it's good. We could get some all-time quarterback play next year.
Yeah, and
like
the
some
league
crazy quarterback play next year.
The league should be very thankful.
So much fun.
There's so much talent.
Okay, so I hope that was a good look for you at some of these teams, some of their quarterbacks, some of their players, kind of how we see them. We pretty much agree on most of these, except for a couple of the ones down low.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a great playoff.
Yeah. God, wild card weekend is just phenomenal idea. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday football.
Oh yeah,
should always be in the playoff. It should always be a thing.
I don't love that the Eagles playing Monday. I'll just put that out there.
No,
I don't. I a short week in the playoffs is just not great for me.
Short week. They're playing on Monday. They have a
if you advance.
Oh,
it's gonna be a short week.
Oh, short week.
Yeah,
gotcha.
That's just not doesn't make any sense to me. But it's gonna be a lot of money.
Ratings, baby.
Yeah, it's gonna be a ton of money.
That's Philly on prime time.
Yeah, so I get it. That's our show for today. Thanks so much for joining us for episode number 76. Episode 77, we're gonna go into these matchups, and we're gonna make some picks, and we're gonna make our Super Bowl pick, and we're gonna we're in the playoffs now.
Yep,
we're just talking playoffs.
Let's go, baby.
Have a good week. We'll see you Friday.
Peace.
Bye.